Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. It's good to have wellness chiropractors back in the room. So we're going to do a little masterclass today and talk about how you can educate your new patients a little bit better. A couple of things. I have two monitors, so I'm looking left and right. So if you see my head turning, please don't be thinking that I'm off doing something else and not paying attention because it's just not true. I just need to keep track of the Zoom screen in the chat. Um, Great day in Southern California today. It's super bright and sunny. About a week ago, I started doing a cold plunge, and I've done 4 times in the last week. And I'll tell you, it's cold. We've got a pool. It's not heated, so it's the ideal thing for doing it. I know some of my colleagues have bought a chest freezer and set it up in their garage, fill with water and a timer. It'll turn on around 3 or 4 in the morning, get up to temperature or get down to temperature, and then they'll do a cold plunge up to 3 minutes, and then they're done. I'll tell you, it's a really, really good way to start my morning. You get a really cool dopamine hit. Not the most comfortable thing, I'll be honest with you. Going in and diving into that cold water in the morning is not the most comfortable thing, but I'll tell you when it's over, I feel great. So, anyways, let's get right to it. I'm so glad that you chose to join me today. What I want to do is I want to talk to you about how to educate more of your new patients. Why? Because we want to turn pain patients into wellness patients. A lot of benefits to having wellness patients in the practice. A lot of chiropractors struggle with how to do that. So let's take a look at that today, and we'll have some time for a short Q&A at the end. You have an opportunity to book a call with me later to explore in more detail what your goals are in your practice and how this program might be helpful for you. For now, let's introduce it. I'm going to stop my video and I'm going to share my screen with you. You don't need to see me in order to get the full experience right now. I'll be back in about 20 or 25 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a peek here and let me shut my video off. And what I want to do is start by asking you a question. And the question is really very simple. Would you rather have all of your new patients attend your workshops, or would you rather have all of your nights free? Well, why choose when you can have both? Now, chiropractors usually think if you want to get all of your new patients to attend a workshop, then you've got to stay more nights to accommodate every unique schedule. Or if you keep all your nights free, well, then clearly you're not getting anybody to any of your workshops because you're not holding workshops. Today, I want to show you how you can do both. Okay. Today, I want to show you how you can increase attendance for your new patient education classes and why. It's important because we want to create more wellness patients. And at the same time, wouldn't it be a cool bonus if you could reclaim your nights? Right? I think it is. So just to make sure that everyone's in the right seat, okay, who is this for? This is for family wellness chiropractors. Those of you that are going beyond the pain relief and you want to turn pain patients into wellness patients, and you like to talk the tick, this is for you. If you struggle to fill your new patient education class, I did. I could not justify staying every night of the week to capture every unique schedule of all my patients. This is for you. If you're done feeling deflated. Oh my God. Can't tell you how many times I booked a class that had 5, 6, 7, 8 people. One would show up. 4 or 5 would no show. Sometimes I had to cancel it all together. If you're done dealing with that, you're in the right place. Maybe just like to reclaim your time. I've talked to some chiropractors who, as they get more established in practice and they have families, they want to coach sports. They want to take care of their family. They want to be with the kids for their different events after hours. And all of a sudden, the ROI on the time isn't there. So if you want to reclaim your time, this is the right place. So what we're going to talk about today is the importance of a new patient education workshop, some of the obstacles, and what are the solutions. Okay, and really my number one promise for you today is I simply want you to walk away understanding how Headspace Before Habits virtual new patient education class can easily increase your reach. I like to say you can reach more and teach more. And at the same time, you can optimize your time. So let's get into it. Why a new patient workshop? Why is a new patient workshop important in the first place? We know the chiropractors for decades have been holding these new patient orientation workshops, and they're super valuable. Why? Well, they're super valuable because our patients have been misled when it comes to health. We know this. They have the wrong idea. They are stuck in a pain mentality. And we know clearly that pain is a very unreliable way to measure our health. There are plenty of things that can be wrong with the human body that don't cause pain that would make you unhealthy. Our patients don't even think about this. So they're judging their health by how they feel. And that's really hard to turn a pain patient into a wellness patient. And ultimately, that's what we need to do. We need to take the time to sit down with them in a dedicated environment, away from distractions and rushes and schedules, and just sort of pour into them where we're coming from, what health looks like in a real way inside the human body and through a chiropractic lens. Because let's face it, our people do not value our care in the absence of symptoms. Very few do. They're not going to commit to something they don't understand. So what we have to do is to help them. And laying the foundation for that is what the workshop does. Now, many of you run workshops. How successful they are, we can find out. A lot of you have stopped running workshops because the ROI just wasn't there. This program is designed to address that. So I want to know if this sounds like you, because it certainly was me. I've been there. I've been disheartened. I've been jaded. I've talked to people who are starting care, and we say, okay, Steve, we're going to get you set up. We just need to schedule your new patient orientation workshop, and say, gee, when is it? Oh, it's on Thursdays. Well, I'd love to, doc. That sounds great. I can't make Thursdays. It's date night, or I got jujitsu, or we take the kids somewhere. Oh, what else? What other nights do you do the class, doc? It sounds great. Well, I don't do the class another night. And for me, that led to me feeling really deflated. And after a while, I started to feel a little bit jaded, like, geez, well, should I even keep trying to schedule these people, right? Because it's not working. I've certainly felt frustrated and undervalued. I know people love my adjustments. I know people love my care. They tell me and they respond. You see it in your office. People are complimenting you. People are getting better under your care. However, they're still stuck in this pain mentality that just doesn't allow them to take the next step. And for me, that led to frustration and really feeling undervalued. I have a lot to offer, even beyond chiropractic, like some of you do. Perhaps you have a specialty that you like to do beyond the chiropractic adjustment. Maybe it's nutrition. Maybe it's fitness and performance. Maybe it's pregnancy and pediatrics, how to raise a healthy family. It's hard to really add on those really important ways to make people grow and thrive when we don't even know if they're going to stick around long enough for an initial care plan. I also felt very, very stagnant, personally and professionally. Professionally, you can see the numbers. What's the PVA? What are the collections? Is it what I'm looking for? How's my growth? Or am I flatlining? Am I plateauing? And also there was a personal stagnation because I had this great vision, like many of you did, I'm sure, in chiropractic college, where you're talking to your friends, and you're like, this is what I'm going to build. This is how I'm going to build it. And it's going to be great. And I'm going to save the world. And all of a sudden you get into practice, you find out maybe it's just a little bit different. Okay. And these feelings go on and on. They tend to get entrenched, and we don't want that to happen. Okay. What I came to realize, however, was this is a lot like chiropractic itself. So people will say that they have, what's their problem? Well, it's a shoulder problem, it's a back problem, it's a knee problem. Well, actually, those are symptoms, right? They're symptoms of a bigger cause, a cause that we recognize is dysregulation in the nervous system, subluxation, and so forth. Same thing here. The problem really isn't the workshop. Okay, that's just a symptom. The problem is the two things that are probably outside your scope of awareness, if that's the right phrase, right now, which is time and trust. Time and trust can seem fixed. And I had this conversation with a colleague of mine, and I was talking through my idea. And I really came to realize that time and trust can be expanded. They really, really can. And I want to share with you what I mean by that, okay? Because it's really, really important. When you solve the time and trust problem, the attendance goes up. More new patients are going to get poured into, and they're going to start to understand chiropractic care and the value of your adjustment, even in the absence of symptoms. Okay. What does that mean? That means they stay longer. They stick around. Every chiropractor I've talked to that has a consistent new patient education workshop, whether it's a high performing one or not, the patients that go stay longer. Okay. And when they stay longer, they're there long enough where they can start to generate some internal referrals for you, which means you're not spending as much on external marketing. And external marketing can be hit and miss. It can be clearly quite expensive. What does that mean? It means better bottom line. Income grows because there's more predictable monthly income from the new wellness patients, and expenses decrease because you're not laying out what you used to for external marketing. And guess what? As a bonus, you get your nights back. That's pretty cool. And you can use them any way that you want. Okay. So briefly, who am I? Dr. Harry Heater, graduated Life University in 2010. Very proud of the Chiropractic Philosophy Distinction Award that I was awarded for my graduating class. Dr. David Koch was our philosophy teacher, and he was absolutely tremendous. Once I got into practice, I struggled with how to reach more of my people. Like you, I'm sure we do talks in the community. We go to hotels, we go to libraries, farmers markets I've done for years. I did group reports in the office. I would invite people who weren't even patients yet, come in, listen to the conversation that we have, about chiropractic. Well, I still wasn't making a big enough impact. And so my shift came about when I was talking to a colleague, and he suggested, well, why are you stopping at your patients? Think bigger. I was like, yeah, what if I helped other family wellness chiropractors nationwide populate their offices with more new patients, more wellness patients? That would be a great thing. So this is my solution. I call it headspace before habits. So let's talk about this time and trust problem. Okay. Let's talk about time first. Now, most chiropractors have limited class availability. One night a week, one night every 2 weeks is what my chiropractor does for his new patient education workshop. The problem with that is that you don't get many people attending. There's lots of schedule conflicts. One night a week, it's just on a Wednesday. Well, too bad, Wednesday's date night, doc, I can't make it. Heard that a lot. Other chiropractors have heard that a lot. I'm sure you've heard that. Cancellations and rescheduling is number one, it's a time suck for you and your team to have to keep monitoring this. And number two, it can be kind of a deflating feeling to always have to kind of chase people, right? Because it's almost that mentality when we're looking for new patients, especially if there's a lot of external marketing reliability. How does my program address that? Well, first of all, the access and convenience for your patients goes up, 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 because it's not just one night a week. It's actually 4 times a week. Early class, late class, 2 days a week. That's 16 times per month that a new patient can schedule. Versus if you're holding your class every 2 weeks, that's only twice a month. That's 8xing availability. If you hold your class weekly, it's 4x the availability for your patients to get that vitalistic content that they need. And that's what we talk about. We talk about the same vitalistic content. I talk about the same vitalistic content that you do. And we'll get to that in a moment, exactly what that is. And the big thing with the Headspace Before Habits program is that it's live and interactive. Okay. There is no pre-recorded material. All the classes are taught by me, taught live over a virtual setting. People can ask questions, they can get answers in real time. So their brain isn't stuck somewhere trying to figure out what I just said when they're missing what I am saying. Does that make sense? Because we have an opportunity when we're live in the office to have that back and forth. I've recreated that in a virtual setting. It's absolutely fantastic. That's the time component, the trust component. Trust is a huge one, right? Because a lot of you are going to be saying, well, why am I going to hire someone else? Why am I going to hire you? Right? How can I trust you? I don't even know you. And that's exactly why I'm not selling anything today. Okay. Your wallet stay in your pocket. This is about meeting and trusting. Okay. And trust takes time. We know healing takes time, trust takes time as well. So what I intend to do is and you'll have an opportunity later to book a call on my calendar, a one-to-one call. So we can just get to know each other and find out if we like each other and if it makes any sense to take a next step. So I talked about vitalistic content a moment ago, and that's what I put together inside this program. You get to approve all the class content. So none of your patients will ever be taught anything that you don't 100% agree with. And when the classes are running, you have unlimited access. You and your team have unlimited access to every single class. So you'll always know what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, and how it's landing. I'm only talking about common health perspectives. New patient education workshop is designed to do two things. Number one, we want to talk about health, how health really works in the body and how to measure it, right? How to know if you're healthy. And two, we want to talk about chiropractic and the value of chiropractic beyond just simple pain relief. And that's what I get into. I talk about, for example, function versus feeling and how feeling is a very unreliable way to measure our health. Function is a much better way to measure our health. And docs, I'm sure you measure function in your office one way or another. Perhaps you use technology like a substation or a neuroinfinity. Perhaps you do muscle testing. Different ways we can measure function of the body during the exam. We want to talk about chiropractic being a process, not an event. This is critical to get patients to understand that when you give them their initial course of care, the corrective part, they need to stick with that. Just because they feel better after 2 or 3 visits doesn't mean they can start coming in, whenever they feel like it. Okay, a lot of chiropractors, a lot of patients rather, they look at chiropractic as an event, like taking a rock out of your shoe, as a treatment for a condition. Right? We know that's not true. We need to teach people to be proactive versus reactive, and I certainly want to drop an anchor around kids in chiropractic and how valuable that can be. Now, whether or not you practice on children is your call, right? And I'm not trying to say you should or you shouldn't. I just want people to understand that chiropractic for children that young, newborns, is totally valuable and totally a thing. And it starts to drop an anchor for them, number one, to know that, wow, maybe I should have been getting adjusted way back then. And number two, if I have children, I'm going to start considering bringing the kids in. What I don't talk about technique. I don't talk about exercises. I don't talk about nutrition. Any of the stuff that is specific to a practice, specific to a patient and a complaint is none of my business. If patients ask me a specific question about their health and their case and what they should do, I always defer and say, look, appreciate the question. That's a question for your chiropractor. Your chiropractor knows you and can give you the best advice. I'm not here for that. That's why you go to your chiropractor. Okay. And I also want to touch on something that is a huge concern, I think, for some chiropractors in the trust category, and that is, am I going to lose my patients? Like, are my patients going to leave me? Is Dr. Heater going to say something that is going to chase them away, right? Or encourage them to go to a different office, like my office, which absolutely 100% in writing, I guarantee you that will not happen. My goal with this program, beyond helping chiropractors and growing chiropractic and making more wellness patients, is to give myself a path and an exit strategy out of the office. So I'm not tied to the office adjusting patients all the time. As much as I love it, I do. I'd also like some flexibility to not have to be at a certain location at a certain time, day after day. Okay. I hope that makes sense for you. At this point, really, there's two options. Folks that are doing your own classes, that's great. But if they're not successful, how much longer do you want to wait? Right? How much longer are you going to try to tweak this thing to try to nail it down? Another what? 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years? I mean, what's that going to cost you as far as income and quality of life if we keep deferring that, right? Or you could use a system that already solves the time and the trust problem. And that's what Headspace Before Habits is designed to do. Okay. I want to extend an invitation to everybody on the call today. My invitation is to meet with me on a video call. I have a one-to-one calendar. I schedule time for a 45-minute call. I usually go over, I'm happy to do it. So I would say a lot, 60 minutes. The goal is to get to know each other. Talk about your vision for your practice. Let's see what's working. Let's see what isn't. Let's address your questions. I might be able to just help you run a better workshop on your own. That would be great. I'd be happy to help you out any way I can. And if we find out that, hey, maybe this program is good for your office, my question would be, are we a good fit to work together? Okay. The cost, there is none. The call is free. I'm happy to donate my time to help you and to see if we can really turn more pain patients into more wellness patients. Because chiropractic, as we know, is a terribly underutilized health approach. And I love what Kevin Donka once said, is that every adjustment gets us one step closer to world peace, right? Because if that adjustment makes that person happier, they go out and every life they touch gets happier, and every life they touch gets a little bit happier. And if we are able to spread that, we would have a great place to live. Okay. So once again, just to be clear, this is for chiropractors who trust in wellness care. If you're really committed and passionate about being able to deliver the best wellness care and take care of people in the absence of symptoms, this is for you. You want to grow your wellness patient base, and there's a lot of benefits that come from that. Income benefits, fulfillment benefits, quality of life for you and your team, and the buzz in the office. If you're ready to reclaim your nights, a lot of chiropractors have found that the return on the investment's not necessarily there after hours anymore, as they get more and more established in a practice and they have other things they'd like to do, whether it's personal or professional. And also, for those of you that are tired of just feeling stuck, feeling undervalued, feeling less than fulfilled, if there's a practice stagnation and a personal stagnation, well, this is for you. So here's what I'd like to do right now. We're going to take a short sign-up break, about 3 or 4 minutes. Look at your calendar, see where your availability matches mine. Simply scan this QR code on your phone. It will take you to my calendar. You can choose a time that works for you. When we come back, I'm going to share with you a patient communication that I use in order to help patients understand the value of chiropractic care from an early age and even in the absence of symptoms. Okay, so you don't want to miss that. That's been super helpful for me to be able to reorient people's brains. And then there'll be a short Q&A. If you have any quick questions, I'm happy to answer them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a little music here, if I can figure out how to do that. And we will see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a chance to check their calendars, check their availability, and see where it matches up. Let's get my face back on the screen with you. And that way, there we go. That's better. So first of all, thank you very much for being on the call today. I really, really appreciate your time. I hope this was valuable for you. I look forward to talking to all of you that booked time on the calendar. I'm excited to get to know you and your practice, find out what your vision is, what's working, what's not working, and let's see if maybe we can get you more wellness patients. Okay. Now, as promised, I wanted to share with you a communication I use to help people understand that it's where symptoms come from. Because if your patients are anything like mine, you've heard things like, gee, doc, I don't know why it happened. Like, why do people come in with symptoms? First, one of the first things I ask is, why do you think you have X, right? And, in the absence of an acute accident or an injury, they really don't know, right? I don't know, it just happened, right? They're always doing something wrong or something funny, aren't they? Oh, I slept wrong, or picked up something wrong, or I stepped off the curb funny, or something like that. And while I acknowledge the fact that, yeah, that certainly can contribute to your symptoms, what I want to do is shine a light on not only what they did, but what they didn't do, because our people are designed to only focus on what they did, and they don't think about what they didn't do. So I'll make an analogy with them with a house plant, for example. You can make a house plant unhealthy if you give it too much water, you give it too much sun. Okay, but can you also neglect it, like not do what you're supposed to do and cause it harm, right? Don't put it in the sun. Don't give it the water. Sure. So I tell them the human body is the same way. It's also what we haven't done. What you haven't done, Mrs. Jones, okay, is you haven't had regular chiropractic care. Your spine and your nervous system have been allowed to just sort of decay and degenerate over the years without any oversight. And the way I phrase it is, I'll say, would it surprise you to know? And I use their age. So let's say someone's 40 years old. I'll say, would it surprise you to know? And I understand that, yeah, your work posture is really bad and you've had some car crashes, and that certainly can contribute to your symptoms 100%. But there's something else. It's not just what you do, it's what you don't do. Would it surprise you to know that by today, you should have had in the neighborhood of 1,000 chiropractic adjustments? That's what the research would suggest. And I get various reactions. Some are surprised, but they're engaged. And they're like, wow, really? Um, Others, it just goes right over the top of their head because they don't even know where I'm coming from yet. And so I say, look, and I hold up a spine. I say, is your spine a body part? And I know I'd rather hold up a nervous system. Don't have the model of a nervous system. Besides, it wouldn't land with them anyway. So I hold up a spine. I say, can we agree that your spine is a body part? They go, of course. I said, okay. Well, which of these two ideas makes sense to you? Number one, you never have to take care of it. It'll always work perfectly from the day you're born to the day you die. Or number two, like other body parts, there's probably a routine maintenance schedule we should be following to maintain it in good health, even when it's not giving us grief. And they go, yeah, that one, number two. I say, okay, do you know what that routine maintenance schedule is? They say, no. Say, well, yeah, and it's not your fault, right? You can't make him a bad guy. I said, you weren't taught. It's okay, but I'm sharing it with you now. There is a routine maintenance schedule for your spine, and the research suggests every 2 weeks to get checked, to use chiropractic proactively to prevent spinal decay, degeneration, osteoarthritis, disc disease, and so forth. And I say, look, I know this is brand new information for you, but you were taught certain healthy habits. For example, brushing and flossing your teeth. What were you taught? And they'll say, well, like every day, twice a day. Say, okay, so roughly 800 times a year, just for easy math. You go, yeah, okay. Well, you're 40 years old. So 800 times 40 is about 32,000. Let's make it 30,000 just for round numbers. About 30,000 times you've picked up your toothbrush. to prevent tooth decay and gum disease, because that's what you were taught. You weren't taught to wait until your teeth rotted and fell out before you went and saw somebody to get them fixed. You do the prevention. You do the prevention in a lot of different ways in your life. Spine is the same thing. If you get adjusted every other week, twice a month is what the research suggests. It's about 25 times a year, times 40 years old. There's your 1,000. That's where I came up with that number. And compared to the 30,000, is it really that big of a number? Well, not really. So, okay. And they start to get it. And I really reinforce the fact that they're not the bad guy. They haven't been delinquent. They just were never taught. You can't do what you don't have awareness around. So that's the way I have a conversation with people. And there's a couple of studies. The vitamin study is probably the most popular one that chiropractors will reference. There's also a study that shows patients with back pain who continued chiropractic care every 2 weeks for a period of months, I forget how many months it was now, had longer lasting, by a large margin, had longer lasting relief. And the folks who stopped care, when the pain stopped, the pain came back pretty quickly and the symptoms returned. So there are a few studies out there that suggest this 2-week time period as a minimum for maintenance adjusting is appropriate. So that's what I use. And I just let them know that's what I recommend people is, in a perfect world, people would choose wellness care. And so this communication you can use at the new patient exam. You can use it at the report. I most often do it later when I'm giving them their exam results and they want to know, well, why is that a problem? Why is my spine not working the way it's supposed to? And I always reinforce the thing that they said to me first as to why they thought they had symptoms. And then I add this piece. So you don't have to change anything that you're doing. You can just simply add this little communication, and it really does land well for people. It really works well. So I hope that's helpful for you. I'm going to open it up for questions. If anyone has questions, please stay on the line and we'll connect and we'll get those sorted out. If you have no questions, then I will thank you once again for your time and your attention. And I hope to be talking with you soon. Have a wonderful day.